runners, let's talk about foam rollers. So how many of you have one, but you don't really use it very often? Or maybe you use yours all the time. So I found out recently, I'm always advocating for my runners to get a foam roller, and I really like tune-up balls, the little balls. Those are two of my favorite things that I use all the time. And some people will get them and some people don't. And a lot of times we'll use them like when we're injured, but you want to also use it as a preventative and as a maintenance. Like that's just what rolling does. And you know, honestly, if you could get a massage every day or at least 3 times a week, wouldn't that be amazing? And that's basically what rolling is. It's massaging the area, it's bringing blood flow to the area, and it helps you with your range of motion. And you know, honestly, sometimes we don't realize that we get stiff or we get stuck until you have like an injury, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, my calf is tight, or my hip or my IT or something comes up, and you can't just roll out an injury. So what you're going to do is you want to use the roller to, one, check that everything has full range of motion, and then secondly, like I said, use it as a preventative and as a maintenance to make sure nothing like comes up that you are aware of. So I'm just going to do a quick roll here, slide down to the ground. All right, so I'm going to start, and we're not going to do a full roll. I just want to show you that you can, when you roll, right, you can start wherever you want. I'm going to start with the calves because most of us as runners are going to feel it. Now, whatever roller you use, like, it doesn't matter. This one is amazing because you start on just the regular part of the roll, and what I like to do is check, like, are my ankles free? Can I feel everything? This roller is amazing because you can actually, I'll see if you can see, you can put your whole foot in there. So usually I'm barefoot, by the way, but you can put your whole foot in there and it's wild. Like you just can get into all those little crevices that the foot needs. And then you move the joint. So while I'm rolling my ankles and my Achilles and this lower leg area, I'm also moving the joint to make sure I have full range. And then I do that all the way up the leg. It's like when you're getting that calf, see, I'm always, is my ankle free? Because for a lot of runners, if your ankle is not free, you're going to have tension whether leaving or landing on the ground. And that tension can just turn into, of course, impact-related issues. So if you got a shin splint, you've got anything going on, okay, so same thing. I'm not going to, like I said, I won't bore you with the whole roll, although do it with me. Like get your roller out and start to really make sure you're hitting all of those areas inside the ankle. It's really, really good. All right, so then you can go to your hamstring. And once you're on the hamstring, if you are okay being on your hands, then roll up onto that hamstring. If not, stay down. And I said this the other day to someone, if I really have tension and something's going on, take that time to just spend time with that area. Be nice to it, but spend some time in there. And again, moving the leg around. This is really important. And, you know, again, if I'm feeling pretty good, I'll do a double roll, but spend time with each leg. You know, and again, finding little areas that you can find any tension in. Now, I love this roller because you can sit inside of it and it really gets that outer hip. So anybody that's got IT band, whatever roller, like I said, whatever you're using, you really want to make sure to hit this area. And once you're in here, do things, again, moving the legs around. So this is a great time to check if my hips can open. And then you can do things like open the torso as well. So now I'm like going to add some upper body movement. So I really like to do dynamic movement with my roll. And that's the fun part of rolling, right? Because you're checking to see that your movement is really good. And then, of course, you want to get into your back. So I'm going to start here. And when you do your back, this roller is pretty aggressive. But you can come all the way down here, and this is wild. It will really release your lower back. So if you have any lower back issues, putting the roller on your lower back, and then work your legs. You can bring your legs up, and you can start doing movements with your legs. So I do windmills here. This is great for the range of motion that sometimes you can't get when you're upright, you know? So I use a lot of rolling for this. And again, dynamic movement with my legs. And I'm getting my lower back. So once I've worked on my lower back, again, like I said, I use, woo! Okay, hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. Once I've done my lower back, then I'll move to my middle back. And one of the things that's really great is start working on opening up your middle back, your torso. You know, again, be dynamic in your movement. And so things like opening those arms, making sure you've got full range of motion in your arms for your arm swing to release neck tension, right? And spend time, but see, I'm working all the way up the chain. I started at the bottom and came up to the top. This roller, again, is really amazing for the back of the neck. And I do a lot when you're in there working on your neck and your back, move your arms around. I think you might be surprised that some of your limitations in your run are actually connected to tension in your shoulders or neck. And you can really feel that. I read somewhere that you really should not have crunchy. Like you shouldn't have a crunchy neck. You should be able to have full range of motion. You know, you should be able to swivel your neck. You should be able to do full shoulder range of motion without having a bunch of crunchy sounds. That's what the rolling does for you. All right, so last one I'm going to show you is the quads. So when you do your quads, this is important. You can stay here a while, like I said, just like on the other ones. Once you're here, though, check that your hamstrings are free. And the fun part about rolling your quads is you can hit external rotations, like putting your feet together and rotating out, which a lot of runners are actually missing, is that external and internal rotation. So it's a nice way to do some hip work while also rolling out those quads. And again, spending time, if you've got, like I said, a little spot that's tight, just spend some time there. And also move those ankles around. So I'm going to turn my ankles out, and I'm going to rotate my ankles in. And again, you're really making sure just to hit all of those important parts. And by the way, one area that some people miss is their ribs here. They're under. This is really important area as well. I do this. And it's amazing, again, opening all of this up so everything is free for your run. So it didn't take that much time, right? Of course, I would still do the other side. But something to keep in mind, it's like little nuggets. If I can do like a 5-minute, let's see. Okay, last one. Okay. Again, you don't have to do a huge block of time. 5 minutes is great. And start with there and just hit all the major spots. And then if you find something that's a little bit tense, spend a little extra time there. But I promise you, the more you get on it, the more you're like, wow, I feel better in my other movements as well. All right, let me know if you give the roll a try, if you're using your roller. I always appreciate any comments you guys leave, any questions you have. Thank you for subscribing and watching. And again, if you want to see more content, we've got plenty on the channel. We've got that free app, or of course, happy for you to join us on our coaching membership, runrx.fit. Thank you, guys.